This is PC747 with the Next Up YouTube. My last couple of videos, I actually was concentrating on explaining those that want to do any type of podcast or video recording on a Chromebook that you can do that. So I'm doing a follow-up to that as well as answering a couple of questions that I saw in the comment section. So the follow-up, what I wanted to notate is that if you use Speaker Studio, which so far I think seems to be the better of the couple of apps I've used, one, you're going to do 15 minutes. Now, I think I said that, but when you go to retrieve the audio, let's say if you want to do some editing to it or whatever, you're going to have to, because basically it saves itself to like a podcast for you so that you can play it or stream it through their service, which I understand the reason why they're doing that, because they're trying to make money through their, they do got some plans where you can sign up for, where you can actually use their platform to host your podcast, and they got different fees for that. Obviously, if you're on the route I'm talking about, you're trying to do this for as little money as possible. So I'm going to tell you what I've been doing. So what I would do is actually go and take that link and I would email it to myself. And then from wherever computer I want to go to edit it, I would download that MP3. I'll edit in Audacity, and then I upload it to whatever platform I'm going to use. So if that is what you're looking to do, that may be something that may be suited for you. Now, one comment I did see in my comment section, it was by Crymore Gaming. He commented on the quality for a Chromebook. Now, the audio quality I'm able to achieve thanks to using the audio interface and my microphone that's going into my Chromebook. So that's actually surprisingly working pretty well. But the way I'm getting my video is through a Pixel 3 XL. And I throw that out there because for a number of you guys out there who may be like, look, I cannot afford to get a camera right now. I can't spend this type of money on the camera just to sit there and try to play around with YouTube, not knowing if it's going to work. You may be surprised to know that a lot of your smartphones out there have pretty good cameras, especially if you have a Pixel phone or an iPhone. Yeah, I remember being on the YouTubers Reddit and someone posted a video and I was sitting there watching it, like a hotel travel video or whatever. And I looked through the whole thing. I'm like, man, the video quality on this is really, really good. And I'm like, what did you use to capture it? And he goes, an iPhone. And for a minute, I'm like, there's no way you use an iPhone for this. Then I thought about it. I'm like, because me being a tech guy, I'm like, well, actually, I can very well see how he was able to do that, because you could take an iPhone camera and with maybe a couple of video editors or photo editors and stuff like that to kind of visualize or boost up a couple of colors here and there. You can really produce some very good quality video. So I challenge you out there. If you're out there, you want to create, but you do not want to spend a lot of money, you may have or very well have everything you need right in front of you. And that's the purpose of this video, to challenge you guys that just because you don't have, this fancy computer, you don't have a certain camera, that does not mean you cannot create something. Take what you have and create with what you have and continue to learn. And that's what I'm kind of continuing to do, to go to all these communities and learn from what I can, go to various YouTube videos and just continue to look up stuff like lighting. I got two lights, one to the left and to the right of me, that I'm trying to make the best of. Now, I would like to eventually be able to buy another light that I can put in front of me so I can get rid of some of these shadows, because if I lean all the way back, you can see the shadows that behind me. So I kind of lean a little bit forward to try to see if I can eliminate some of that. So that's where I'm at there. Now, I had another comment asking about fan noise. Now, one of the good things about using a Chromebook, you're not going to have that. In fact, I'm using two Chromebooks. One Chromebook to the right of me that is actually capturing all the audio, and the second Chromebook in front of me that I use for my notes. Now, I normally would use my MacBook Pro for capturing my audio using GarageBand, but again, the point of me doing these videos is proving that you can actually do this on a Chromebook. And I do have some issues with my MacBook Pro right now that I'm trying to decide if I want to go ahead and fix it or replace it. And that issue is right now my speaker is kind of, gargly, on top of the fact that my the mouse pad is pretty much done. And I'm thinking, okay, do I want to go out there and buy a brand new 2020 MacBook Pro and spend $1,000? Or do I want to go ahead and just see if I can fix it? So that is kind of going through my mind right now. Now, for everything I would need to do to fix it, update the RAM and update the solid state drive and all that stuff will cost me about close to $400-500. And that's kind of why I'm like, man, for the extra $400 or $500, I can get a new MacBook Pro. So that's kind of going through my mind. And while I kind of decide on that, I'm still playing around with recording on a Chromebook. Now, another question that came up, and this was about the GeForce Now. So, I want to say a month ago, I posted a video talking about Google Stadia and GeForce Now, and someone posted a comment saying that Mortal Kombat 11 had been removed from GeForce Now. At first, I'm like, okay, let me check that out. So because I am going back and forth because of work, working in Houston and working or living in another state, I'm not able to put up videos like I normally am able to, as well as play games I would like to. But I had a chance to break open a GeForce Now, and sure enough, Mortal Kombat 11 is not available. Now, I went and started Googling that to say, all right, maybe there's some information out there that can give me some insight to that. So I'll just Google it, and I'm going to pull this up from Steve Viver. It's written by Steve Wright, and he wrote up on the 21st of April. And they talk about GeForce Now losing Xbox games and Warner Brothers. So all the games that either have already been removed or will be removed was Gears 5, Halo Master Chief, Gears Tactic, Mortal Kombat 11, Batman Arkham franchise. He also talking about Activision, Blizzard, and Bethesda and 2K removing games. So this is something that is concerning because one of the things that I talked about in a video when I was comparing the NVIDIA Shield to GeForce Now is that GeForce Now, or NVIDIA Shield, GeForce Now is the same thing, but GeForce Now to the Google Stadia is that GeForce Now actually have more games to offer than Stadia. And that's why I'm like, well, I'm giving the edge to GeForce Now. But now that they lost all those titles, that edge is completely gone. And there's really not even a competition, I think, anymore. And it goes back to Stadia. And this, again, goes why? Because, again, one of the reasons why people are looking to cloud gaming is because they want to be able to game on the go. And Stadia is still doing a better job of that now because you have the options of those games. Now, what I do want to see is how they're going to be able to handle when it comes to upgrades. And a key example of that is right now, Mortal Kombat 11 is going to get a DLC, which is going to add Aftermath. And I want to see how long it takes for you to be able to add that or get that addition to your game through Stadia versus something like PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. Because right now, you can go ahead and pre-order that and have that ready to go. But you cannot do that on Stadia. And when I asked about it, they said, well, Stadia is not into the whole pre-order thing. But it should be available on day one. So I will update you guys if I was able to update my Mortal Kombat 11 with Aftermath, with RoboCop, and all the additional characters in story mode on my Stadia on the same day as someone with Sony or the PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. Because to me, that's going to be a big key indicator to tell me where Stadia is going to sit up against those other gaming platforms. Because this is going to be, for me, a good testament and see where they stand there. With all these games and other things coming out, people are going to want to make sure or want to know, can I still get those games? Can I still get those updates? Can I get the same stuff that I can get on these other systems through this cloud gaming platform? Now, so far, I will give Google Stadia this. When it comes to other games, they have been able to put it out on the same date as those other platforms. So that's why I want to see what happens. Now, there's some things I think Stadia, or the Stadia team still needs to work on, and I think they're still doing that. That's why I'm staying patient with them and sticking out with them and believing that this is going to continue to evolve into something. Now, how far they can go with this is still dependent on, one, if they can add the key features that people want, as well as how they handle people with low bandwidth issues. If they can find a way to take people like that and allow them to be a part of this platform and still enjoy quality gaming without feeling like they're left out, that will put them so far ahead, I think, of the competition. Now, as far as why all these companies may have pulled out of GeForce Now, remember, Xbox is working on their cloud gaming system as well. And we've already saw that, about a year ago, they was playing around with it. They put a beta out there for people to kind of test out. And even though it has some issues being able to stream on 720p, people still say they have promise. But imagine if Xbox is able to, or Microsoft is able to get this working like they wanted to, and it performs on par or just as well as Stadia, but have all those games plus more. That's going to put the Stadia team on their heels to find a way to, how can we update our platform, our gaming system to match that? Because they're already having to convince a lot of people to stay on with them, because the number of people that have picked up the Stadia and was interested are just continually to diminish. And I think the one thing that may be to their advantage right now is the fact, because everyone is stuck at the house, we're not seeing these gaming conventions hyping up the PlayStation 5 or hyping up this new game. It is giving Stadia an opportunity to get out a free Stadia for people to play with sitting at the house, and allowing people to say, look, you can't get out. And this is why we believe cloud gaming may be for you. But you still have to solve the issue of bandwidth. And until they're able to, that's going to be a challenge for them. And it may be what leads people more towards the system versus cloud gaming. On the other end, with the fact that a lot of people these days are playing online and so caught up in online competition, it may, on the other end, usher in that cloud gaming platform right to where Stadia is building for, and could really set them in a very good position to be in. But I'm kind of curious for you guys out there, for those of you who do have Stadia, do you still have promise that Google can provide that gaming experience that you've been waiting for? Or are you like everyone else, like, I'm giving up believing on Google, and even though GeForce Now has stepped out, that's not going to mean I'm going to stick with Stadia. I'm going to wait for someone else. I'm going to wait for the new Xbox cloud gaming system, or I'll just wait for the new PlayStation 5 and see what Sony do. Leave your comments below. And for those of you who are looking to create content and you don't have anything like a MacBook Pro, you don't have a PC, or you're just trying to find ways to do this for cheap, I'm kind of curious, what are your concerns and what are the things that keep you from being able to create? Leave your comments as well. And if you are part of the new tubers on Reddit or Discord, you can see me over there under the next up. That's all I have. I'm out.